It's a ladder. Could be my way out. What in the fuck? I just have people locked up down here. And sheep. Normal sheep. What is this? This is not a facility to contain anomalies. They're experimenting and creating new ones. Gosh. I have to tell the world about this. What is wrong? This is just locked in here like animals. I should free them. What? Power outage? What the fuck is happening? There's so much blood. I have to get out. No.
Smoke is clearing now. All the circling lights blind me. I've been running out. Now it's all just a fight to breathe. I gave it all, yeah, I gave everything. I will never break the silence. When I look inside, I don't have to hide. If you're looking, you will find it. Who's the enemy? Don't know what to believe. Living in the shadows. Living in the shadows. I will never break the silence. When I look inside, I don't have to hide. If you're looking, you will find it. Who's the enemy? Don't know what to believe. Living in the shadows. Living in the shadows. Living in the shadows. Living in the shadows. Living in the shadows.
Yep. Welcome back to the 7th episode of Minecraft Undocumented. In other words, yet another episode where I play Minecraft horror mod and scream my lungs out. Because I don't know. Because every time my little brother says, come on, let's make another episode, I feel like, okay, I'm just gonna watch him scream and I'm just gonna have to somehow try to be entertaining. I always underestimate how truly terrifying these mods are. I do it every single time, and I at the end of every episode I'm shivering and crying and screaming. So I don't know, I just never learn. Well, that's besides the point. Sort of, because crying is also what I'm doing while editing this damn episode, because it sucks ass. Let me explain. Originally, we had intended to play a horror mod pack with the Steve Dweller as the titular monster. We still did that. As always, I had a little story idea. This time, my idea was where Froshy and I, the paranormal investigators, were going to be living in a village, and we sort of had to help out the village. You know, we had to help with the farming, we had to make sure the village stays safe and doesn't get overrun by zombies. And there's also the additional rule that if we leave the village, we have to be back before nightfall, because anything that enters the village as night is considered hostile and promptly killed by the golems or villager guards. That idea worked decently well. However, We had to end up deserting the village like halfway through this playthrough for one very simple reason. I will get into much more detail later. The horror monster for this episode just straight up didn't work. Like, he works when he spawns, but he just straight up doesn't spawn properly. As I said, I will explain later why I think it happened, but for now, just enjoy Froshy and I while we were still thinking that this was going to be a normal episode of Minecraft Undocumented. Oh no, oh no, oh
Oh no,
fuck.
come on, get him!
I'm not a Pokemon, you fucking bitch.
Who's that Pokemon?
I also need some meat. Cow, get back there! Ugh. This is not possible!
Everything is possible, you're just not trying hard enough.
I swear. Oh, sorry, wait. You will, that one shot. Ah! Cow, get back here! But how am I supposed to get feet? Why are they running away from me? Are we even allowed to sleep?
Of course we can sleep, but right now I want to use the night to... do you not hear that?
What am I supposed to hear? There she is.
The cow? I can kill that cow and check for what I'm hearing.
Not him again.
It followed us all the way over here.
I hate this guy so much.
Alright, I think it's time that we go to bed.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What the fuck is this?
Help, I can't get in! Scotland, help me! I can't get in!
Neither can I get out.
Help! I can't open the door!
Just spam it.
I'm trying!
I got out. No. I got in. Frosty, I found a compass for you.
Oh, thanks.
Alright, over here. Nothing, just books. Cool. Let's get out. What is he saying? He's like saying so many words. Why is he saying them? I won't be able to hear him. Does he know that? Oh boy, what now? Alright. There we go. Oh, cool. Even more lag. Just what I needed. What in the fuck is that? What do we have here? Nothing. Oh, better it lags now than it lags when we're doing actual important stuff. What is that noise? What is going on? What the fuck? Holy shit, what is happening? Oh, this is kind of nice. Did we just both die? Oh, yeah, good. What? Huh? Huh? What? Where the fuck did this guy come from? Huh? Where did this man appear? What happened? What the fuck? Okay. So that happened. I fixed the issue of lag the following day when we recorded the second half of this video. Now we would venture into the caves with our cameras in hopes to record the Steve Dweller and the other anomalies I had added in. This is now, of course, where we get into the part where this whole thing falls apart. But before we get there, I would just like to note this was supposed to be a simple, scary trip into the caves, dreading what was around every corner. It turned into one of the most frustrating experiences I've ever had in Minecraft. I genuinely think that these were the most aggressive mobs we have ever had to deal with on this channel, on this playthrough. Like, motherfucker, these skeletons were gunning us down like we were terrorists or some shit. We were getting arrows shoved up our ass, and it was so many you couldn't even enjoy it. Just, huh?
Still.
Yeah.
I just heard someone scream at me.
What?
I just heard a scream out of the village.
Out of the village?
A scream, or like, I have no clue where it came from. It sounded like it came from the village.
Listen, the people are probably really mad that you misgendered them. No wonder they're screaming at you. That's what the liberals always do as well.
It's over, Batman. We all know you're a liberal.
Or if anyone's a liberal here, it's the mentally ill weirdo that dyes his hair green.
I'm gonna show you. Like, there's a hallway of grass blocks. Look at this.
Yeah, wait. Oh my goodness, don't run too far. I need equipment.
Here, look at this.
No wait, that was not what I meant. That was like a different.
Is there something here, or is it just aesthetic?
If there's something here, we have to find
What the hell is this?
just where if there's any kind of entity you can camp in.
What is this? Holy shit, the skeleton's just running. Oh, the spiders are crawling on the blocks. What the fuck? Look at that. Where? What? Where are we? Oh, there's a mine shaft.
Hell yeah.
Let's go inside.
Holy, a gigantic.
There you go. Let's go inside. This cave is massive. What?
Well, you know, I am going behind.
Froshy. Huh? Okay. Weird. I don't remember this from Mineshaft.
Quadlateral. I think from now on, we have. Okay, quadlateral. Can't like creepers explode all the time.
So far, nothing has appeared. I will start getting scared once we see something. Or hear.
That's why I am going behind you.
Oh my god, there's so many torches in here. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, minecart.
Du er der glitch-kill, you only have one torch. But oh no.
Nope. Holy hell! Just stop! Gosh! Right. Let's keep going. Oh my lord!
Yeah.
Spider! Spider! Come on, Frosty, help me! Hello, Frosty!
I don't see anything!
You useless fuck!
What? I'm trying to help you. I can't use the spider. Oh my god, there are so many.
Come on, Frosty, what are you doing? Frosty, come on! What are you doing? Frosty!
Help!
Okay, come on! No, not again!
No! Again.
Why is there so many spiders?
Please! Oh no!
Ah! What the fuck? Ah!
I remember you! Remember Minecraft Chaos! Whoa! And build it!
Ow! My lord, there are so many skeletons and everything!
And I love that iron sword here in the cave.
No! God! What is this? Where did all of these mobs come from? It was so peaceful here a second ago! Kill this baby zombie! You can't hit it.
Try to help me, help!
I know, I see that you're trying to help me. Thank you, Frosty. I am trying. Oh my. Holy shit. My sword is about to break. My sword is broken. At this point we had recorded for almost 3 hours and nothing had happened. Only a few minutes before we ended the second recording did something finally happen on Froshy's end while he was in the village after dying in the cave for the final time. I'll show that right now, and then I'ma get into the AI of the Steve Dweller, cause that fucker did not show up at all, and I experimented around for an hour alone after we had finished this recording, and I think I have an idea as to why his AI is so shitty. But firstly, I'ma show you what Froshy discovered and how we dealt with that threat the next day. Teleport us to the mountain and then we...
But can I just give you some bread? Wait. I need to make it.
Alright, so now we get into the analysis part of this video. So, before I start yapping to you, I want to show you the 2 times that the Steve Driller did show up in our third recording. I want you to note that the first time this happened was when I was standing still because I was googling how this thing spawns, and the second time was when Frosty and I were standing still in a cave for a long ass time to check if his recording was still running. I want you to keep that in mind as I show you these 2 encounters. And thanks to the debug menu that this mod brings along, which is great by the way, I have a pretty good understanding. I think I may just be talking dog shit here, but I'm pretty damn certain that I now understand how this thing works. What the hell was that? Oh my fucking lord!
I see him!
What?
There.
Oh!
Oh my goodness. I have it!
Yeah?
I think we should like look away. Then it comes.
Let's just go into this hole and be safe. You look at it, you keep...
See? I need to look at it. But when I look away...
Look at it, keep looking at it. Down. Ah!
Wait.
Okay, mine.
I can't mine. You have to go. Oh, and my camera's gone.
Holy shit. I think we're safe.
Look at this.
Come on, Frosty, come on, just go,
Ouch.
dig! Yeah, now, let's talk about coding. The little programmer half of my brain is screeching in joy right now. So, there is of course a lot of variables with this monster. After all, it's based on the Dweller AI, and as I said in episode 5 of Minecraft Undocumented, that AI is quite complex with multiple different behaviors. Thankfully, we don't actually care about the chase or the intelligence. All that we care about is the process it takes for this thing to spawn. And it all starts with 3 key variables. Is in cave / select target, spawn noise, and spawn chase. Let us begin at the very start, and thankfully this is also the easiest part of this AI spawning process. Whenever a player enters a cave, the Steve Dweller rolls a dice. This dice has however many sides as there are players on the server and currently in a cave. Which means when Froshy and I enter a cave, it rolls a 2-sided dice. This dice then decides who of the 2 of us becomes the target of the Steve Dweller. Now then, once it has rolled the dice and selected the player, the second variable immediately kicks into action. Spawn noise. In the background you can right now see footage from me during my hour-long testing of this monster's AI. I did this to both prove if my theories were actually correct, which is what I'm telling you right now, and just to actually figure out how this thing works so I can be telling you what I'm telling you right now. Does that make sense? Probably not. Anyways, spawn noise isn't really a variable, it's a timer. A timer that is almost always above 100 and always below 1000. Whenever the player that has been selected as the target enters a new area of a cave or a new chunk or whatever you call it, or however this exactly works. I'ma just say it's an area to keep this more simplified. A new timer is selected. This timer can be much shorter or much longer than the one that came before it. There is absolutely no system selecting the length of the timer. It is absolutely randomized. Now then, once this timer actually fills out and ticks down, this happens. What? Okay, that was... pretty scary if I do say so myself, and the code actually works very well, because the timer always resets when the player enters a new area of the cave. It is made sure that never ever does the noise just randomly begin playing in a part of the cave. The player has like just walked by and then he has to like turn around, or he just is already on his way of running away. so he just keeps on running and doesn't feel any real fear anymore. Because the timer always resets when the player enters a new area, it means that the only time that you will actually be hearing this is if you yourself are mining and thus staying a long time in a single area of the cave, which is of course the perfect conditions for this to scare the absolute crap out of you. So well done. But now, this is where the two big problems come in. The final variable that has to be fulfilled and set to true so that the AI of this monster can kick in and begin chasing you. Steve Dweller Spawn. Gosh, this variable is a nightmare. And this variable is also the reason as to why we basically never saw this thing. Because it is both connected to the spawn noise and also not connected to. In concept, Steve Dweller Spawn is really simple. It's another timer with a set value of 1200 seconds that once it has run out, spawns the Steve Dweller to chase you. That is it. This way, the Steve Dweller noise will play about 2 times before the actual chase begins. It can play more often or it can only play once, but it builds suspense quite nicely. However, it is also connected in the resetting. Whenever the player enters a new zone, the timer of the Steve Dweller spawn also resets. And fair enough. You want the noises to play before the monster just randomly spawns and kills the player with no build-up. That would just be a lot less scary. But now we have established that Steve Dweller Spawn is connected to spawn noise. But then it just randomly stops being connected. Because while spawn noise resets to a random number, which may be smaller or larger than the former one, every time you enter a new zone, Steve Dweller Spawn remains at 1200 seconds. I think you can see the problem with this. Whenever the player enters a new zone, this long ass timer is totally reset. No chance of it being much shorter, no saving the time that has already been elapsed. This means that the motherfucker will basically never spawn. Remember, even when you're mining now, after 1200 seconds of mining, you are gonna have mined into a new area / chunk. This monster will have its timer reset right back to 0. Which is why this thing never ever spawns. So I hope you now understand my frustrations. But with all of this info in mind, I yet again set up into the caves alone this time. I just stood still for 1200 seconds and this is what happened. Motherfucker, what the shit? That was the screw horror mods. What the fuck was that? 10,000 zombies just make that 10,001 just running at me. This is epic as hell. Only one of us is leaving this cave system, you fucking bastard. He's already in awe of my mind. His jaw literally hit the floor. You seen something? Oh my fucking god! Alright, let's hit him. Oh, in control! Oh shit! Holy fuck, I take everything back! So yes, that was the Steve Dweller mod. It was, as I said, I hope you enjoyed this episode first and foremost. I will, for next episode is going to be the best one yet. I can promise you that. Episode 8 is going to be absolutely amazing. I've spun the horror wheel and it has given us something good, let me tell you that much. But yeah, the Steve Dweller mod, scary if it does spawn. As I said, it's just rarely ever spawns. I've also decided from next episode onward, so from episode 8 onward, at the end of each of these videos, I will be doing a tier list, like ranking them. But I've talked enough already. This video is already way too long. Have a nice day and goodbye. Noise? Fuck. Goodbye.